This weather pattern that we're in is about to get even stronger, everybody. Now, we had snowstorm already, even some crazy winds and blizzards. We're about to get this bigger snowstorm as we go through today all the way into Sunday. Now, this is going to be a blockbuster of a snowstorm. It's going to bring a foot of snow plus to multiple states, maybe even top 5 snowiest Novembers for places like Des Moines, Iowa, maybe over here for Chicago, Illinois, maybe even Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We're only talking about November. Then as we go towards the end of November, we have another one next week that's coming along, bringing another snowstorm, big thunderstorms. That's why it's going to bring big snow. But this is not the pattern I'm talking about. This is about to get even more intense as we go from the beginning of December for the first 10 to possibly 15 days of December. Our polar vortex is really going to flex into Canada and the U.S. across the Great Lakes, bring even more snow, potentially multiple feet to multiple states, but a very cold wind chill and temperature all the way towards the south. This is bringing in sub-zero temperatures, even sub-zero wind chills for multiple days. So in today's weather forecast, I'm going to show you what the weather is going to do right around the corner. It's about to get plumb crazy, everybody. Now first, I'm going to go through what we have for today. We have chances for snow still, more lake effect snow for the interior northeast, and bring in snow squalls. But I'm not going to miss anything out, so let's go first through today. We have more snow coming, more lake effect snow and snow squalls that is possible for today. This is for the interior northeast. You can see your additional snowfall totals all the way until tomorrow morning. All this yellow and this orange is going anywhere from 7 inches to a foot more of snow. This is also bringing snow squalls that you need to watch out for. And you can see your chances. You have a greater than a 60% chance over here for Pennsylvania and New York, going through Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine to get a snow squall. You even have a snow squall possible in this 20% chance. So you should be aware of that. Definitely will not be able to see, and it could bring power outages. Plus another factor, I will go through this snowstorm and timing, but also for tomorrow, our severe weather has grown for a chance for tornadoes. You can see here with HRRR, as all these very warm storms move to the north, that's why your snowfall is going to be so robust on this snowstorm. As we go later in the evening for tomorrow, we get a chance for damaging winds moving through for Texas, going through Arkansas, but also you can see we start getting some cells pulled up from the south, and this will bring chances for tornadoes if those supercells do show true. And that's what I'm showing, that those will congeal up possibly by tomorrow afternoon, sometime around 6 to 10 o'clock. Then it'll turn into more damaging winds as it pushes further south and east, going towards Houston again. So for tomorrow, for Saturday, you can see thunderstorms in any of this region. This is where we're going to be getting a lot of snow as well. But there is a threat for tornadoes now. It's for Texas going into western Louisiana. So far, here's your cities in Texas at risk. And this moves a little bit further towards the east. It could get Lufkin in there as well. There's also a wind threat coming with this. So here's your cities and states at risk for possible damage to winds for tomorrow, and a hail threat almost in the same locations. So here's your cities in Texas at risk for the hail threat for Saturday. We can also see it does include Louisiana and southern Arkansas. Now, as we go Friday through Sunday, we still have this big blockbuster snowstorm coming through. As you go through for tonight, it's going to start bringing a lot of snow over here for Wyoming, Montana, as this low pivots right over here by Colorado and Texas and Oklahoma. Also bringing snow towards Iowa and the Dakotas. As you go through overnight into the early morning hours, this is where you just had your severe weather event, and now the low is pivoting over Missouri, bringing a lot of snow over here towards Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, northern Indiana, all the way to early in the morning where it pivots towards Michigan and Canada, still bringing snow towards Michigan and the interior northeast all the way into Canada as you go through for Sunday morning, then Sunday evening bringing more towards the interior northeast. Then still as we go into Monday, that trough deepens even more, and we still get chances for snow to come across the central and the south central, and potentially bringing a mix of freezing rain and ice and snow towards the Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio Valley as we go through for Tuesday morning. By Tuesday evening, this will move towards the northeast, still bringing another blockbuster snowstorm, potentially a foot or more as that moves further towards the northeast. Still showing it's going to be a warmer scenario right along the coast. But right after this, we're going to have a big change coming, especially with our temperatures. Now, this is going to make for more snowfall as we go into into this next weather pattern. So first, let's go through this next snowstorm, what your snowfall rates are. And you can see here with National Weather Service, your legend right here. This is the expected snowfall amount. Now, this is going to bring a swath of significant snow from the northern plains through the Midwest and through the Great Lakes. You can see here from National Weather Service, their latest update on what this snowfall more than likely will do. And all this orange right here is going anywhere from 8 inches towards a foot. And all this darker orange over here from Michigan, northern Indiana, central Iowa, and northern Michigan, this is going anywhere from a foot to 18 inches of snowfall. And you get more lake effect snow coming as well. And you can see here from National Weather Service, this will cause significant accumulations of 6 to 12 inches in a broad swath from the northern plains through the Midwest and into the western Great Lakes. Locally, more than a foot of snow is likely. A 50 to a 70% chance for parts of Iowa, Illinois, and Wisconsin. And this is bringing moderate impacts, but also major impacts on your travel as you go through from Illinois into Iowa. Please be aware of this. But our weather pattern as we go into next week will be much stronger, everybody. Look at this. So as we look at our data, our EPO, our East Pacific Oscillation, showing us that our jet stream is going to remain southern all the way to the very beginning of December. Now, when this happens, you have a high ridge on the eastern U.S. This is where we get a lot of storms that peel off, like the one that we have coming across for today. Also, the second one that's coming next week towards the northeast as well. Then after that, we're going to go on a higher ridge all the way from the 5th towards the 10th. So this will bring a warmer scenario towards the western U.S., but this will bring a colder scenario towards the central and the eastern U.S. You can see this when you look at your weather pattern of the NAO, your North Atlantic Oscillation. So on the eastern U.S., we're going to have this higher ridge going on for the moment, but as we go from the 5th through the 10th, we're going to go towards a negative NAO. When we get a negative NAO, it puts a blocking pattern over the Atlantic and allows all this cold Arctic air to come into the southern U.S. And you can see here on your AO, your Arctic Oscillation, that this cold air is going to continuously come in even deeper around that time. So it's about to get really cold, really deep into the U.S. and bring a lot of snow. So you can see this when you look way up into your altitudes that you have this polar vortex still coming through, bringing in this very cold anomaly that we have all the way towards the beginning of December. Then it's going to pivot and sit there all the way until the 5th and beyond, bringing even colder conditions towards the central and the eastern U.S. and going all the way towards the south, maybe even some 20s for Florida. And you can see this as you look at your temperature anomaly. So we have these below average temperatures anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees in this green going towards that white. And you can see as we go through the beginning of December, this is where that colder anomaly comes on through. So as we go for the end, for Sunday, we have below average of 20, even 30 degrees, maybe even 40 degrees below average for this time of year, and we're going into winter, everybody. We're still getting 30 and 40 degree below average temperatures. Moving all the way towards Sunday afternoon, even your highs are going to be very cold. Now, as we come in for Monday, I was going to December, all the way until Tuesday. Look at this for Monday. Bring a below average of 15 to 20 degrees for this time of year, all the way from Wisconsin, all the way towards Texas and Louisiana. And as we come for Tuesday is going to be there. As we come for Wednesday is going to be there. Then we get that second punch all the way from the 3rd and beyond. Now it's bringing you anywhere from 20 to 30 degrees below average over here for the Corn Belt in the Midwest. Once again, as we go into next Thursday, next weekend, bring another snowstorm. You see that warmer anomaly on the west, that colder anomaly on the central and the eastern U.S. As we go through the 6th, another blast. This one is the one that's potentially going all the way towards the south, where Florida really could get a very cold spell coming through. All the way towards the 7th and the 8th. Look at this, just a big cold blast coming through. Because of the weather pattern we're going into, with this high ridge, this deep trough of all this cold air and storms, this is going to bring a lot of snow. Some people could see anywhere from 2 feet plus just within the next 7 to 10 days. Now, this is a snowfall coming from this next storm as we go through the weekend. I showed you the snowfall totals already. As we go into next week, still showing we could get that trough of additional snow coming through. The Euro is showing a lighter scenario. When you go by the GFS, it's showing a heavier scenario still with that snowstorm that comes through, and showing there's still chances for freezing rain, some ice that could be right below that will cause a lot of power outages. So be aware, could see an ice storm. It's starting to build up even more for Virginia, Maryland, going through Pennsylvania and the Northeast. Plus, with the weather pattern coming in for the beginning and the middle of December, like I just showed you, is going to bring more storms, more and more and more snow, showing it's just going to add up to a lot. Now, this is going to move around a little bit, but it's already in a set pattern over here where you have the Dakotas, Nebraska, the Corn Belt, the Midwest, Ohio Valley, even going out through the Northeast, and especially Ontario and Quebec. This area is going to get hit the hardest with the snowfall, and all down here during the South, you're going to get hit the hardest with the cold temperatures that's coming down, and especially with the wind chills. So we're about to go to an even stronger weather pattern than we see for this weekend. And the one this weekend is already going to put a lot of places in the top 5 snowiest Novembers ever. And we're seeing crazy amounts. We're seeing multiple feet coming towards the Rocky Mountains. We're seeing the Dakotas potentially getting a foot or more of snow as we go through this transition. But showing as it goes across the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, the Midwest, this is where it's going to get hit the hardest, where you can get feet of snow over here for Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, the interior Northeast, maybe even a little further towards the coast of the Northeast. But look at all the lake effect snow. This is going to add up to multiple feet. The waters are still warm, so you might see 2 or 3 feet just within the next 10 days of what's going on with this weather pattern. A lot of snow is about to move in even more. Plus our temperatures, everybody, which is normal, we're in winter, but these cold temperatures are about to come in even more. Even for your winter temperatures, like I just showed you, you could be 20 to 30 degrees below average. There's going to be a very cold spill coming in, bringing in a lot of snow. Showing as we go into this weekend, this is where the cold air is coming through, and really deep as we go through Sunday morning. This is where you have all the 20s, the freezing temperatures moving through. You can see all the blue, and you also have those negative sub-zero temperatures. Single digits to negative temperatures moving through, where it's going to be very cold, especially over here from Montana and the Dakotas. Now remember, the wind chill is going to make everything worse. So as you go through Sunday morning, you're going to feel like you're in the 20s in all this blue. You're going to feel like single digits across the Corn Belt and sub-zero temperatures across the upper Midwest. Monday comes down again, bringing those freezing temperatures further over, bringing those single digits as well. And with the wind chills, bringing those sub-zero wind chills on through, and you're really going to feel this towards the south. Tuesday is going to come down again, especially with those single digits, and with the wind chills, bringing those sub-zero wind chills on through, and you're really going to feel this towards Texas and Louisiana. Is really going to pivot right towards the deep south. As you go all the way towards Thursday, it's still going to be there doing the same thing, even with those negative temperatures and those very cold wind chills. But now your wind chills are going to get worse as you go into next week, into next weekend. This is where you can feel like 10 to 15 degrees below zero over here for the Midwest. As you go through Friday, this is going to pivot towards Ohio Valley and the Northeast, and it's going to bring those sub-zero wind chills over across y'all as well as you go through Thursday and Friday. And remember, this is going to be over and over because of this weather pattern we're going into. As we go into Saturday, it's going to come down again with very cold temperatures, even those sub-zero temperatures, and the wind chills spilling over. You're going to feel very cold over here across the Midwest. And Sunday, next Sunday, it's going to pivot right towards the east, where you could get those 20s coming all the way towards Florida. And with the wind chills, it could feel even colder further down Florida, where everyone else still in those sub-zero wind chills. So our weather pattern is already a very strong one, and this is actually the weakest part of what is yet to come, everybody. So that is your weather forecast. Thank you for your time. Hope you have a very great Friday and a very blessed weekend. I will see you again for Sunday morning. If this information shows valuable to you, please hit that share button down below. Let other people see what's going on in the weather around the corner. Hit the like button. You know how it does help. Thank you so much for your help. Please be aware of these temperatures moving through. It's bringing a lot of snow as well, but the temperatures, you're going to feel that all the way towards the south where you're not going to get to snow. So it's going to be a very dangerous temperature battle that's going to move in for next week. So please make sure you're ready for that. Now, before I go, a quick word from our Father, everybody. 1 John 4, 2 through 8. Hereby know ye the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesseth that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is of God. And every spirit that confesseth not that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is not of God. And this is that spirit of Antichrist, whereof ye have heard that it should come, and even now already it is in the world. Ye are of God, little children, and have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. They are of the world. Therefore speak of the world, and the world heareth them. We are of God. He that knoweth God heareth us. He that is not of God heareth not us. Hereby know we the spirit of truth, and the spirit of error. Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God. And everyone that loveth is born of God, and knoweth God. He that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. Amen. Have a great weekend, everybody. Have a very blessed Friday. Make sure you're aware of this weather pattern coming around the corner. This is a significant snowstorm coming through. Right behind it is going to be a crazy cold blast with even more significant snow, everybody. Thank you again for your time. Hope you have a very great day. And remember, above all things, all glory does go to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I always hope he keeps you safe every single day of your life and forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you again on Sunday morning.